19.2. Oh, here we go. We got something's gonna happen when we run this. So let's read through it. We got a backdrop, probably the background. We got a bunny, and it's moving to the right because of the velocity x. We got a robot, and it is moving to the left because of negative velocity x. We got dinner. So we got a robot and a bunny moving towards each other. And then this is checking if they're gonna run into each other. Ooh, that's nonsense right there. Look at all that. Greater than and minus less than plus what the heck? Essentially, this statement right here, this big statement right here, is saying this. Okay, it's taking a look at Bunny X, which is a sprite right here, and where's the center point of it? And it's taking a look at Dinner X, which is the center point of this sprite. And then it's comparing the width of them divided by 2 because we need to know when they touch. And that happens to be when these two, the distance here to the edge is touching the distance here. So we want to know when this edge and this edge hit. We do that by comparing the x value of each minus the width of each divided by 2 because that's the center because of the sprite is the width divided by 2 is only half of it. And that's what this statement is saying right here. It is a very complicated way of saying that, and it is intense. If I run it, if they bump into each other, then the bowl will change and everything will stop. We've got velocity 0. Don't worry, there's an easier way. We take a look at 3. We're going to look and pull in a block called is touching, right? So there's already the if statement, everything's set up. We're just going to say, is the bunny touching the dinner, right? If the bunny is touching the dinner, then it happens. So it basically took all that code we saw in the last one and put it in one block, right? So it saved us a bunch of work. So, and breaking our brains. But this block right here is doing this. It's paying attention to the center points of each and then the width of each divided by 2 so that it knows when they bump into each other. So that's nice. Thank you, code.org. Let's move on. This one, let's see. We run it and it's shaking the whole time, but we only want to shake when the apple is touching. So let's bring in a if statement. So if the sprite is touching, right? So our two names are the apple. The apple is touching the blender. Then we want it to shake. So the apple's going to keep moving and it's going to fall off the screen. That's why it's going to stop. But for this purpose, we got it to work. So that's going to work. Okay, so the apple is touching the blender. This one, so we want to pay attention to when it touches. So this one, if I run it, I can move this tack with the keyboard and pop. It didn't even get close. It popped, right? And so they already put a block of code in here, and it says balloon.debug false, but we're going to say true. So let's reset it, run it. So now it's showing us the box that it's using to detect whether it popped or not. So when I touch that green right there, it pops, right? And so it's not a very realistic representation. Let's go ahead and add one for the tack, and we'll say true on this as well. And so we can see the two boxes, and when they bump into each other is when it actually pops, because we're looking at, is the tack touching the balloon? If so, we'll change the animation of balloon to popped. So there we go. Good luck on it. We'll see you around.